Hello and welcome to this beginner's guide to playing GTFO on the roads. Now I'm currently located at the GTFO headquarters, or world headquarters, here in Bruisac, and in the description below I will have a link which will give you a slill to come directly here. So assuming you've never played GTFO before, the first thing you'll want to do is get the GTFO HUD. Now as you can see in front of me here we have a nice pink GTFO HUD, and this is the free trial. And you can use this, I can't remember the limitations, but it's basically limited. You can only get so much XP and you can only get so much money, I believe, in the game, and you can't progress without buying the full version, but it allows you to get a feel for it so you can decide if this is the game for you. Now buying it is as simple as right clicking on the vendor, choosing pay the $1 Linden, it gives it you back, so no worries there. Once you've got the free one, you can wear the hood and it'll look like this. As I've got here, where it's got Bruisac Bay MA there, and off we can go and play. If you do decide you want to buy the full version, just right click on one of the right or left arrows on this vendor and it will change to the next one, which is this cyan colour, and that is the full version, which gives you full scores and everything else. Now they've also got the Explorer's Ban Hood here, which I recommend if you've got the money for it. Let's have a look. You right click and pay. It's $490, and basically this thing is very handy when you're out and about. It shows you where there's ban lines, where there's res zones, where there's private areas, so you can avoid any dangers when you're exploring around SL and you don't know where you're going. And finally, the Move It minivan, which is free and gets you on the road. It's got a small cargo load, but the idea is it's to get you used to it so you can have a go and see if this is for you, and off you go. So without further ado, we're going to go and res the van out because I've already got one. Again, that's free. You pay the Linden, it gives it you back. The disclaimer I'll give you right now, if you've watched my other videos, you'll know that I'm not a pro traveller in SL, I'm not a pro pilot, I'm not a pro sailor, and I'm not a pro driver. I'm about as new as they come, so don't worry about my terrible driving. It does take a little while to get used to driving in SL, and you may find if you're used to driving games you might take to it like a duck on water, but we will see. So you just res it out, literally drag it across, drop it down. I'm just going to right click on it, choose edit, just drag that out of the way, and I'm going to press the control key down, and then I'm just going to grab the blue bar just so I can spin my van around to loosely point in the direction that I'm going to go in. Save me manoeuvring it. Right click it again and click ride. Oh, and we're in, and the engine started and everything. Right, so this is quite a funny one because I'm quite a tall guy and my feet stick out the front of the van. This was pointed out to me by somebody else who thought it was really funny, so I thought for the video I would share that with you. Look at that, you see tippy toes popping out the front of the vehicle. You may wish to adjust your height if you don't want to be calling your toes while you're driving along. So now we're in the vehicle. Click on the hood and choose get cargo, choose a freight room. Now I'm just going to go down the road for the demonstration of this video, keep it nice and short and just give you an idea of the gameplay. Now pay close attention to the rack on top of this van, because like a lot of vehicles that play GTFO, it's got realistic loading and unloading simulations. Now I believe Blue Star is the garage just down the road, so I'm going to choose Blue Star. Now you'll see you've got a job here, and it tells you the pay on delivery, what you're carrying, what your escrow is, and what your current balance is. Now if you click the next button, you can cycle through the available jobs, and you will see they have different values and different products. Now I'm going to go with the fabricator alley, I think, at $130. Choose load job, double check that's exactly where I wanted to go, and choose confirm. Now it's told me there that the estimated load time is 17 seconds. Now watch that rack on the top, see those things appearing? So we're going to load up the roof rack with these things. There it goes, and it will tell us when it's ready. There we go. Now it's time to go and drop off our load. Now I don't actually know what the rules of the road are actually in Second Life. I mean, in the UK we drive on our side of the road. I won't say right or wrong, because obviously in the flip side, people in the US and other parts of the world drive on the other side of the road. I tend to drive on the US side of the road just because the majority of people do tend to drive on that side. But you can drive on whatever side you like. Just be courteous. If you see somebody coming down the side of the road that you're on, go on the other side. In most cases, I would imagine people are driving on the US side of the road. What I'm going to do now is go into mouse view, mouse lock like that, so I'm inside the vehicle. Look, it's quite a fancy vehicle. It's quite nice for free. You've got a stereo in here, A lot of this is for show. There isn't actually a radio that's going to play, or maybe there is. I've never read the instructions, so I advise you do read the instructions. I've literally just got the van, jumped in it, and gone for gold. Right, you can see out the window. I'm a little bit tall, but I can see where I'm going. Now, very basic controls. Arrow keys, up key to go forwards, like this. Left and right to steer. Takes a little while getting used to it, because you've got to push to go forward, and then you've got to steer. That's a sim crossing. Don't panic. When you get a sim crossing, things like that happen. Just take a deep breath, and you'll get across like that. Now, what's happened there, if you're wondering, and I wanted to demonstrate this, is your AO. Vehicles in SL don't always work well with AOs. Now, one of the driving groups has recently brought out an animation to fix this. I haven't yet had a chance to try it out. But for now, what I would recommend you do, you can get two types of AO in Second Life. You can get a HUD that you wear, which does all your animations, or in this case, I'm using Firestorm's built-in one. So I'm just going to turn Firestorm's built-in one off. Now, what will happen, it looks terrible, as you can see, but don't panic, because when you cross the next sim, it'll look absolutely fine. Probably while I'm doing this, I'm just going to drive like this so we can see where we're going. So we'll get on the right side of the road here. This is purely up to you. Some people, I personally like to do the whole immersive experience, so I tend to go for the mouse look. But I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people who drive like this in the third person, if you like. And it might be easier for you to drive first person like this to start with. All I'm doing is I'm keeping my finger on the up arrow to go forward, and I'm gently tapping left and right to steer. It's not too bad. I mean, this has got gears, by the way. I'm, for the demonstration, going to recommend you do as I'm doing. Just stay in the very first gear till you get used to it. Because the gears in Second Life tend to be quite ratioed, and you go quite fast. And if you're just getting used to it, it can be a bit too fast, and you'll end up running the poor horses over, and we don't want that to happen. So now I'm crossing over the sim. Sim crossing an SL on the road can be a little bit interesting. My advice there is, for me personally, my machine's not too new. It's probably about 7 years old. So if you've got old hardware and you've got a fairly large draw distance, you will have trouble. I like to have my draw distance at about 256. I think what have I currently got it set at? I mean, it's currently on 128, which, to be completely honest, is adequate on the mainland. As long as you can see on the radar the immediate road in front of you, just so you can be aware if someone's coming the other way to be ready to avoid them. You don't really need to see that far in front of you. But again, it will be down to what kind of machine you've got and whether it can handle it or not. Either way, when you hit one of these sim crossings, let go of the controls and just let it do the crazy thing that it does. And when it comes back to normal, just carry on. You will get used to it, but don't panic, because the first time people do it, it's like, oh my god, I'm flying, I'm in the ground, don't panic too much. Now, the place I'm going to is to my left here, I believe. So we're going to steer left, get it round. Oh, as you see, the steering on some vehicles, be careful with the full lock. The full lock can be a little sensitive, and it literally spins 360 on the spot, which can be a little bit unnerving. But okay, gentle taps, very gentle taps is the clue. Just to show you, if you press page up, you can change the gears. See, it's now going a bit faster. That's gear 2. Page up and page down usually for gears. Okay, we're crossing a sim, so I've let go of all my keys while it's just doing its thing. Snaps back in, and then we carry on. You could carry on pushing the button, but I don't recommend it, because if things go really bad, it can make it worse. So that's gear 2, which actually isn't too bad at this view. Let me just show you what it looks like in mouse view. So if you were driving it in mouse view like that, it's like driving it if you were sat in a real car. But as you can see, suddenly the aspect's very different. Yeah, it feels like it handles very strangely in mouse view, to be honest. Yeah, that does feel very weird. That's going to be, again, all vehicles are different, and that's for you to choose. I'm going to stick to the third person, I think, because it feels weird. Woo! See, it's fun driving an SL. I actually quite like driving an SL. I'm just not very good at it. I haven't quite mastered the whole sensitive steering thing. Okay, here we are at Blue Star, which is where we want to deliver. I'm just going to go and pick a parking spot. Right, the hope here is, having seen my driving, you won't feel nervous about yours. Right. There you go, going into reverse. I'm just going to reverse it back a bit, having just mowed into the lawn there. Okay, now I'm here. All you've got to do is click on the hood again. Now, this is a thing that you should be aware of. As I say, sim crossings on the mainland in a vehicle can be a little bit challenging. If you get a situation like this where the vehicle button turns up, just click on it. That'll reconnect to the vehicle. Sometimes the hood can get disconnected from the vehicle. Click on it again. Now you can deliver your goods. Choose deliver. And then wait 17 seconds. Just watch that stuff unload. There's a guitar there and some bullets and all sorts of things. Ammo crates, whatever. Give it a few more seconds and that'll be us done. That'll be your first job. There you go. Got 6 XP, $163. Click the GTFO button and that's it. Your first delivery is done. And that's it. Get out there, get your free van, go and try out all of the different places. Satori has lots and lots of hubs, and this is where we are at the moment. And in fact, when you come here, there is a map. Now this map's around all over the place, but you get a copy of it. It's made by Cam Maximus, and it basically shows you, I don't know how recently it was updated, so there may be new hubs that might not be on here, but it does show the majority of hub locations, and this is the map that we're currently on. Just explore, go out to explore, find the places, go and deliver your goods and have fun. As I say, just watch your crossings. If you're happy with this vehicle, great. If you feel like you want to move up, there are loads and loads of GTFO capable vehicles. Just search on the marketplace for cars and vehicles and then just narrow the search for GTFO and see what you get come up. Join the group, of course, the GTFO group if you haven't already. People in there will help you with how to get started and what to do. Also, the Drivers of Asal group is worth joining because they also have lots of trips that you can go on regularly throughout the week so that you can meet other people who drive or fly or whatever, and they can give you advice, and you just learn by going out with a group of people and having fun doing it and exploring all the different places. So that was the beginner's guide to getting on the road here in Second Life on GTFO. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you all soon. Happy GTFOing.